Hello. All right, let's do this. First one is to compute the greatest common divisor. You know what it is. Anyway, here we go. GCD right here. We have the formula. We have a little void. Just this takes in two arguments. It just says if x modded by y equals 0, then cout. Else, then recurse. And then a recurse. And then it asks for two integers. Boom, boom. Pretty simple. So type the first integer, we'll do 54, and then we'll do 26, and it is 2. Cool. As you can see here, it's x modding by y as well. So that's 20.3. Next is 20.8, which is just a recursive function to reverse a number. So we'll go here. We have our void reverse display. We take in an argument that's a number. We say if that number is true, then we take in we do a int variable, and we say the number is modded by 10, and then we add it to the rev plus the rev times 10. Very similar thing that we did with a for loop, but with a recursion, because right here we do the reverse display, number divided by 10. And then it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats until it else's out, and then it couts the rev, which is stored up here. So right here we can see that obviously we're taking in a number, then printing it out. So we'll do 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yay! Cool. Yep, that's 20.8. Then the next one is decimal to hex, the recursive function to a hex number. So if we go here, I believe it's stored in this one. I know it's 23.4, but it's that one. So we take SS stream, and then we take the stream hexadecimal and then the int number, and then I take in another argument, which is the O string stream. This is going to allow me to convert the number into a string. And so we say our base case, which is if the number is equal to 0, then return the hex string. And then we take the hex number, which we divide by 16, and then mod. So we recurse, and then we take the int, and we store it in a variable we have an int value variable, which is the number modded by 16, and then we have a switch. And so the switch takes the value, and then it says, hey, if you're 10 through 15, change it to this number. And this is an operator within stream, which is essentially like an append. So it'll append the A or append the B or append the C, whatever, to the thing, or it'll default the value. So if it's like below 10, and then therefore it'll return the string. Here we'll take in the X right here as an argument, and then we'll take also in the number. So to show you that, we'll go here and we'll say, I don't know, we can do 35. It's 23, but let's do something a little bit bigger than that. Let's do 56, 4, 3, 16, 0B. So as you can see, it's taking in, and if you go check that out, it'll be the proper number. So that is the 2022. Finally, we have the 8 queens, which was not easy, but that's okay. Able to figure it out. Finally, we go here. So we create our game board, and so we've hard coded our game board. I could use a define in of like 8 or 5 or 4 or whatever, and like we could customize the whole thing like that. But I've just hard coded it to 8. So this just prints out the game board, very similar to the tic-tac-toe. I've just taken this and just game boarded it out to a bigger board to take in these arguments. I then have a checkboard, which I have a bool here that says, hey, are you safe? Is the queen safe? Obviously, we have 3 arguments here, our rows, an in and a q, which will be used here. And so in our for loop, we go through to check if the rows are safe. So if the rows are in, and so this is checking if the consistent row in all the columns equals to q, then safe is no longer false. Same thing here. If n is equal to q, safe is no longer false. We then create 2 magic numbers. We're just called magic numbers because they kind of pull them out of thin air, but that's okay. And here we do point slope, where we have minus n plus q, and then n plus q. And then this for loop, which iterates 8 times, and it has 2 checks for the left to right and the right to left diagonals, which just takes the magic number, which is n minus q plus a plus I is, and this right here is like short circuit coding. So we're just trying to say, hey, if this doesn't work and this doesn't work, boop, safe isn't false. But we're just trying to check these two. And then we have rows I equals q. So then you can place it there. If it is, if it is there, then it's equal, then it's no longer false. And then we return safe. So we'll just keep looping through this. Coolio Julio. So then we go down here to the place queen, and this is where we use our recursion. And so we say, hey, if n is greater than 8, minus 1, which is 7, then print the game board, which we have up there, and return true. Then we have the for loop, which we take the checkboard. And we say if the rows of n and I, which I is here in this for loop, and n is the constant, and then the rows are obviously the rows, and then n is equal to I, check for the recursive function here of place queen rows n plus 1. So we're trying to recurse and go to the next queen on each row. And then if check is equal to true, then we break, because it's going to go up here, it's going to check it. If it is, if it's greater than 8, boom, it's going to return true. Therefore, check is true. It breaks, and then the overflow is set to just an empty space, and then we return the check. Boom. So then we go down to main, we have our cute little board here, and then we have our place queens, and then if we run it, boom, have our cute little board here. So, boom, this will all be in the Word document. Awesome. Have a great day.